How did food riots affect civilians in the Civil War? Imagine living in a time when bread and basic food items suddenly become luxuries. During the Civil War, food shortages and inflation caused chaos, especially in the South. Civilians, mainly women, faced incredible hardship trying to feed their families. Crops failed because of droughts, and with many men fighting and enslaved people fleeing plantations, farms couldn't produce enough food. Both Confederate and Union troops destroyed farmland and property, making food harder to come by. The Confederate government also tried to seize food from farmers, but many farmers hid their crops and livestock to avoid losing everything. Meanwhile, inflation skyrocketed, making even small amounts of food unaffordable. By late 1863, a barrel of flour in Lynchburg, Virginia, cost around $175, which was an enormous sum at that time. These shortages led to food riots in several southern cities. The most famous was the Richmond Bread Riot in April of 1863. Women, many already weak from hunger, marched through the streets, breaking windows and looting food warehouses. They demanded that the government do something to help. Confederate President Jefferson Davis ordered soldiers to potentially open fire if the crowd didn't leave peacefully. Luckily, the women left without violence, but the message was clear: people were desperate. Similar protests happened elsewhere, showing how fragile social order had become. Food riots had many effects on civilians. They pushed the government to release some food reserves to help starving families, but it was limited and often only for certain groups. Women who organized these protests challenged traditional gender roles, showing they could take action and speak out. This unrest also hurt morale, making civilians and soldiers doubt the war effort. Soldiers, seeing the hunger and chaos, sometimes deserted to find food. The unrest even influenced military decisions, like General Robert E. Lee's campaign at Gettysburg, which aimed to ease pressure on Virginia's economy and people. Beyond the riots, families had to find substitutes for scarce items like coffee, sugar, and meat, or simply go without. They relied on local networks and charity to survive. Overall, these food riots revealed how deep the economic and social struggles were during the war. They forced governments to face their limits and showed how war's hardships could change social roles and influence military choices. Civilians endured not only hunger but also the psychological toll of seeing their society break down.